Welcome back, and today I'm going from Seisia down to Cairns. The biggest problem now is it's November and weather. We're in the cyclone season. I was reasonably concerned about it but kept an eye on it. It was very hard to leave Bamaga, but I did. I went across Cape York, top of Cape York to Boris Island and started heading south. Now there's anchorages all the way down there, but the first place I probably stopped after being out in the reef was Shelburne Island. Now I could talk about the reef, Great Barrier Reef, because it goes for 1,000 miles, but there were so many places to go and so many places I visited. While I was up in far north Queensland up towards Cape York, I never seen another boat out in the reef, not one. It blew every day, and the only concerning thing was I couldn't use my aluminium dinghy because if something went wrong I'd never get back to my boat, my main boat, because the wind was so strong every day. So all the fishing I had to do and anchoring I done was from the Adriatic, my mother boat. So I worked my way down to Shelburne Bay, Lockhart River, Bathurst Bay. Bathurst Bay was the site of the biggest maritime disaster of Australia's history, in fact. Back in 1899, the 4th of March, Cyclone Mahina trapped 50 pearling schooners or luggers in the bay. Of the 50, 49 were sunk, only one survived. And 282 sailors, mainly divers and deckhands, drowned on 49 boats. Japanese divers, Aboriginal divers and Europeans. The storm was 880 kilopascals, the lowest ever recorded in the southern hemisphere, with a tidal surge estimated at 13 metres. In fact, so high that they found dolphins on the cliffs. An amazing story, but it must have been an absolutely massive storm. Princess Charlotte Bay, Flinders Island, Boris Island, Knight Island, Galian Reef, could keep naming reefs, Eel Reef anchored in there and sand spots. Worked my way all the way down to Lizard Island, walked up to Cook's Lookout. If I'd have known how far it was I wouldn't have walked. No one told me. When I got there I was dead worn out. It was really steep. Had a great time at Lizard Island and worked me down that way into Cooktown. Cooktown's another different anchorage where Captain Cook actually, after running into the Great Barrier Reef, he actually beached his boat, turned it over sideways and fixed the damage on it. It's another story. Cooktown's got a rich and varied history, and none more than with Captain Cook and the bark Endeavour. In June 1770, while travelling up the Queensland coast through the reef, it ran aground fast on the Endeavour reef. It was stuck for 23 hours with all hands on pumps, severely damaged until the crew managed to warp the boat off. Now the main hole in the hull was blocked by a bloody big rock, and they covered the rock with a sail, and then on the inside they used oakum, sheep's wool and sheep's dung to try and stem most of the leaks. 7 days later she arrived at the Endeavour River, and on the banks of the Endeavour River now is Cooktown. They winched the boat, or the ship, up on the beach. Now it's no small feat considering the Endeavour weighed 800 tonne. They winched it up, tipped it over on its side and repaired the damage in 7 weeks before refloating the boat and heading on towards England. And on the way north, not far north, is Lizard Island, where once again they stopped and Captain Cook and his officers walked to the top, which is now called Cook's Lookout, to look for a path through the reef, a safe path through the reef, because of course it was uncharted. So we've got it pretty easy these days. I eventually left Cooktown and headed down towards, through the reef, through the islands to Cairns. Picked up a mooring, left the boat in Cairns and went home for Christmas. So that's the end of that segment.